Hi everybody, I'm Randy Arrington and welcome to episode 105 of Page Valley Living. This week we're going to be talking hoops. We're going to be talking about the Luray Bulldogs and the Page County Panthers. And one of the big showdowns, the second game of the big rivalry, coming up on Thursday night, February 12th, right here at Luray High School Gymnasium. Tip-off is 5:30 p.m. It's a doubleheader. They're going to have the boys first, and then they're going to have the girls at 7:30. So the tip-off for the boys, 5:30 p.m. In today's episode, we're going to talk to Coach Matt Huff of the Luray Bulldogs about this big rivalry game coming up. It is the regular season finale, and we're going to talk with Page County High School coach Parker Tyler. We're going to do all that and more on episode 105 right after this.
Hawksbill Assisted Living in Luray is now accepting new admissions. Hawksbill Assisted Living, powered by Valley Care Management, offers quality care at affordable rates, professionally trained staff, and veterans aid and attendance. Come visit Hawksbill Assisted Living, located near the beautiful Hawksbill Greenway in Luray. Call for a tour today or learn more at valleycaremanagement.com.
Welcome back, everybody, to episode 105 of Page Valley Living. We're here at Page County High School now, and we're going to be talking with Coach Parker Tyler about the Page County Panthers and that big game that is coming up on Thursday night down in Luray between the Panthers and the Bulldogs. We're filming episode 105 here today on Monday, February 9th, and we're going to once again, as we did before with basketball, we're going to put it out a day earlier on Tuesday the 10th so you can get some good build-up for that big rivalry game on Thursday night. Coach, I know y'all are having practice inside. I want to say thank you for giving me 10 minutes here today. I appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
As I said, we're here at Page County High School with Coach Parker Tyler. And the first thing we want to talk about is obviously still a lot of white stuff on the ground. Right now, people are in that final week of the regular season, and they're trying to make up games. I think Luray had about 6 games in 10 days. I just randomly happened to be looking at Stonewall Jackson today. They got like 4 games this week, and I think that's pretty typical. But you guys have not been hit quite as hard with the winter rescheduling. Why is that?
We kind of front-loaded our season with the games. We wanted a longer Christmas break, so we actually played about 8 or 9 games before Christmas when everybody else only played 3-4 games. So we haven't had but one makeup game, which would have been Harrisonburg, but I don't think we're going to make it up. But other than that, we haven't rescheduled any games. We moved one, that was it.
We talked about this a minute ago, but I didn't ask you this part. So even though this is later in the season, you're not having any district game issues as opposed to where usually early in the season it's non-district? That's not causing any problems?
No.
Okay, very good, very good. So you guys are on track. And what you've got left is you've got 2 games remaining. The Panthers are going to be in action right here at Page County High School on Tuesday night, February 10th, 7:30 tip-off for Madison County. And that is senior night. You're going to be honoring 8 seniors on the senior heavy team. And then on Thursday night, the big game we're going to be talking about here in a moment is at Luray, Thursday, February 12th. That is a 5:30 p.m. tip-off because they have the girls and the boys the same night, and they flip those. Y'all were 7:30 tip-off when it was here at Page. It's going to be a 5:30 tip-off for the boys. The girls will tip at 7:30 on Thursday night. So, Coach, we're coming down the stretch here. As we said, you got 2 games remaining this week in the final week of the regular season. You just come off of a couple of nice wins. Obviously, teams that are maybe struggling in the district a little bit, but you beat Clark 77-37. That's a 40-point win. And then the other night, I did watch this one on NFHS. Wow, Stonewall, 111 points you hung up on the Generals, and that was your season high. Everything was clicking that night.
Yeah, the last 2 games offensively, we've been clicking. We've kind of made some adjustments. The guys wanted to play a little bit more loose, a little bit more free, and I've kind of taken the reins off of them, and we've been running. So we've been putting up some points, been shooting the ball a lot better, and our offense looked great. So I'm pleased.
And the Generals the other night, Stonewall, tip my cap to the Generals. In fact, I know they've been struggling. They've had a hard time this season, not a deep roster. But gosh, you guys had a dozen. I think maybe you got a 14-man roster and 12 people put up points.
Yeah, our bench has been playing great. Even against Clark County, our benches came in. Drake Pettit's been giving huge minutes for us. Bradley Williams has been shooting the ball unbelievably well. I think in the last 2 games, he's like 7 for 9 from 3.
Wow.
So he's been shooting well. Our bench is playing great right now, so I'm very pleased about that going into last week.
Was that Bradley you were talking
Bradley
about?
Williams, yep.
Number 32, right?
Yep.
All I can remember, he was number 32, and he's got those pink shoes.
Yep.
But boy,
Yep.
he was lighting it
Yep.
up from three-point land against the Generals the other night. So you're coming off 2 wins. This gives you some momentum going into those final 2. We're going to talk about the Luray game in just a moment, but I want to talk about some of these special seniors that you've got in this special senior class. You got 8 seniors on the team. There's 4 in particular that I want to talk a little bit about, and I'm going to start off with the man himself, the guy who has been, I know, in the voting, even though he hasn't got it for Player of the Year in the district and maybe even the region. Caden Combs, man, I've watched that kid since he was at JV level, and just impressive. The basketball IQ, the fluid movements. He's a heck of a player.
Yeah, he's special. He's going to be missed around these halls, this school, this community. He's one of them Page County legends that you talk about for a long time. And, you know, we got a couple of those guys here, and I think he's going to itch his name right in there with him.
1,000-point scorer. He goes into that club. Now, I'm putting you a little bit on the spot here, but any idea how many of those that Page might have? 5, 10, 15, 20?
I think it's 7 men.
Wow.
Yeah, if I'm correct.
Only
men.
7 that have reached that mark.
Yeah,
That is.
He's pushing his name up the leaderboard quite a bit. I don't want to say where he's at, but he's up there.
Okay, well, that's something we're going to have to check in at the end of the season when we get into postseason, maybe a little bit.
Yep.
You know, who's on that chart and where does he stand? I would love to know those numbers as we go along. Another guy, and I tell you, I know he struggled a little bit. I know he probably wanted a little bit more out of his senior season, and maybe it doesn't show up in the stats in the scorebook, but shows up right here. Isaac Foltz plays with as much heart as I've ever seen.
Yeah, he's kind of the guy that we lean on. We tell him, we go as you go. And he's that guy for us. You know, he might not be a Combs 20 points a night, but exactly what you said. He wears the jersey with pride, and we lacked some of that in the past. And he takes very, very high pride in being a Page County Panther.
I tell you a guy, I know he runs hot and cold, but I'm going to tell you, when he is hot, he is hot. Dawson Richards can light it up from 3 points.
Yeah, he's special. He's going to be missed as well. And all these guys are just very, very talented players, and they've meant a lot to me since I've been here. I've had them for my entire coaching tenure here. So he's going to be hard one to replace, too, with the shooting.
The last guy I'm going to mention, I got to admit, going into the senior season, I forgot how good of a basketball player he was, because his claim to fame is being a long distance runner, right? He's a track guy. Aaron Hensley is a great 4-5 man for you to have.
Yeah, he blows my mind with the type of athleticism he has, and then just the athlete. The way he comes and coach, I ran 7 miles a day, but then also practices for 2 hours. I'm like, how do you do it? And he's special. He's a guy that we wanted back, and I begged him to come back for his senior year, because he had a phenomenal sophomore year for us, and decided, hey, track's my thing my junior year. I want to focus on that. And then I begged to get him back. And he's here, and we're pleased to have him. We're thrilled to have him going down the stretch here for us.
That makes me feel a little better, too. Did you remind me that he didn't play his junior year, so maybe that's why he kind of went out of my state of mind a little bit. But a heck of a player for you, and a heck of a long-distance runner.
Yeah.
These are great athletes. And so we're going to lead up here talking about Luray. And, you know, everybody has good nights, bad nights. You know, I know that some people may want to lean on that first game that was played here at Page. A little bit lopsided. Luray ran away from it a little bit. But you guys didn't have your best night. You didn't have your best night shooting. I think there were some communication issues, a breakdown in a couple of different areas. And I think you felt like probably that you guys didn't maybe give them your best game.
We didn't. I think deep down, I think they know that as well. And I don't think they're going to take us lightly. I hope they do, but
Right.
I don't expect them to. They're well coached. You know, Coach Huff does a good job down there. They have a very talented team. we're just hoping to get the opportunity to go back down there and get our revenge.
Well, I tell you, this is what I want to remind folks who thinks that, oh, not going to be much of a game, Luray's going to run away with it. Let me remind you of something. There are 4 teams in this district. I would say any one of them could potentially win the district tournament.
I agree.
And I'm talking, of course, by right now, Central sitting at the top with a 9-2 district record, 15-4 overall. Strasburg at 9-2, tied for first with a 13-6 overall record. Luray currently at number 3, but just by a half game over Page, which is 8-4 in the district. Luray is 8-3, Page is 8-4 in the district. And keep this in mind: the Panthers this season have split with Central, they have split with Rappahannock, they have split with Strasburg, and of course now they lost one to Luray and hoping to split with the Bulldogs. So, this is a league that right when you get up into the top, it's just who is the hot shooter of the night, who's not, who's making things happen as a team, moving the ball. But you guys have got every bit of the ability to win this second half of the rivalry.
I agree. And going back on what you were talking about the games, they have a couple more games than we got. So hopefully our fresh legs maybe go in there and be the answer for that game. So that's what we're hoping for.
Looking into that game, anything else that you look at? There's a lot of good shooters on the other side that you need to stop defensively. You got to hope that your guys are, hitting the bottom of the net as well. But is there anything in particular that you're working on or thinking about heading into that Luray game?
Just playing loose, playing free, not being uptight. I think last game we were kind of tight on what we were doing. Everybody was kind of afraid to make that play, the next play for us. So I'm hoping a couple of these wins in a row, a couple of the offensive guys get going. We go in there hot, we go in there loose, free, not overthinking things, and just play.
Well, even though this is the last week of the regular season, we've still hopefully got, 3, maybe 4 weeks of basketball left?
Hopefully.
Well, thanks, Coach. I appreciate it very much. Good luck to the Panthers. And when we come back after the break, we'll be talking with Luray head coach Matt Huff right after this.
Whispering Pines Assisted Living is now accepting new admissions. Quality care at affordable rates, professionally trained staff, memory support, and short-term respite stays are all offered by Whispering Pines Assisted Living, powered by Valley Care Management, where home and heart meet. Call for a tour today on Leakesville Road in Luray or learn more at valleycaremanagement.com.
Welcome back, everybody, to episode 105 of Page Valley Livin'. As I told you before, we're talking hoops tonight. In our first segment, we talked with Page County High School coach Parker Tyler and talked about the Panthers. We talked about some of their players, where they're at in the season, and how they're looking coming into Thursday night. As we've told you before a couple times, Thursday night, the boys are going to play first at 5:30, then the girls at 7:30. It's a flip-flop of the first round of the rivalry, and so make sure you get here early, get a seat, and right here at Luray High School Gymnasium. And now we've got Coach Matt Huff. Coach Huff, thank you so much for being with me tonight.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, we're sitting here tonight after the Madison game. You guys just pulled in a 64-52 win, a nice little bounce back after a little struggle with Strasburg on Friday.
Yes, sir, yeah. And bouncing back on a Monday, Mondays are always days I despise. Practices are always tough, so playing games on a Monday is always rough for us because guys are trying to shake the rust from the weekend and all this stuff. But we came out really early and played really well early, and then kind of coasted a little bit. But overall, I was pleased with the effort. The guys, we got everybody played. We were able to get everybody in the game, which was good. So.
Yeah. I thought it was a solid game for you guys. I completely agree with what you just said, and I want to make sure that you said it first. But I think you guys got a little complacent, got a little sloppy at times because they had a comfortable lead, double-digit lead and all. But still, solid win against a district opponent here. And you guys have packed in a lot of games. I was talking with Coach Tyler earlier about how they kind of front-loaded their schedule. They had a lot of games early, and they had maybe 9 games in where other teams had 4 or 5. Right. Now he hasn't had as much trouble with the winter weather, but you guys have had 6 games in 10 days. How has that affected your club?
Yeah, I mean, well, having that whole week off and then having to play 3 games last week with, 2 practices, was tough. I know Friday, you could tell we were kind of into our legs a little bit, a little shot a little bit. So it was kind of hard coming back. Now, hopefully this week we can bounce back with 3 games and kind of recover some of the cardio we lost from those days, the snow days that we missed, going in towards postseason play. So tonight was a good one. I mean, I feel like our guys are getting stronger and getting back to where we were before the break. So as long as we can do that, we'll be fine.
Now, looking back at Friday with Strasburg a little bit, do you think that was a little bit of fatigue that played into that game? Because
a little bit.
You guys had played, I think, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday?
Yeah, yes, sir. Yeah, Tuesday at Rap, which was a hard-fought battle, and then Wednesday against Central. Those guys are always a battle. So, we were battle-tested. We were some warriors. But I feel like a little bit in that second half, it kind of got into our legs a little bit.
Yeah.
We kind of got a little tired and struggled to score there late in the game. But those guys play really good defense, so combination of both.
Yeah. You guys have got 2 games remaining. Tomorrow night, we're filming this on Monday evening after the Madison game on February 9th. You guys are going to be on the road Tuesday, the day that we're going to air this, over at Stonewall Jackson. We go over to Quicksburg. And then Thursday night, it'll be Page County right here at Luray. But, before we talk, kind of break down some of the district a little bit, you guys currently in about 3rd or so. But I want to talk about some of the seniors on this special team that you've got this year. You guys obviously have a really high, lofty goals this year. And the one guy at the top, we've talked about him many times before, but your senior leader, verbally committed to James Madison University, Matthew Owens.
Yes, sir. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that was awesome. He's, JMU, we've got a kid playing Division I. Most high school coaches, dream of having one kid go, any college level, but to have a kid go that high, Division I, is really special. He's a special kid. I mean, he's been around basketball his entire life. His basketball IQ, his basketball knowledge, I mean, everything about it.
Yeah.
He's a leader on the floor. He's a coach on the floor. I mean, you can't say enough about the kid.
Now, he says he learned more from his mom than he did his dad. Do you think that's right?
1,000%. Yeah, there's no question he learned more from his mother than his father. Yes, absolutely.
Well, you have a senior duo. The other half of that duo will be in Connor Hilliard, who's also going to JMU, but he's going for baseball because he can throw a heater at 90 plus. Wow, not many teenagers can do that. But he is also a heck of a basketball player. I'm telling you right now, he's got smooth moves.
Oh, to have 2 Division I athletes on the same team is obviously in a place this small. We've talked before, is just unheard of. And Connor, he's kind of a do-it-all guy. Honestly, if he's on any other team in the Bull Run, he's in the running for Bull Run District Player of the Year.
Right.
He can do that much. He rebounds, he scores, he passes, he plays defense. I mean, he just is a do-everything guy. A great athlete, great kid, great character. And so losing those 2 guys, losing my seniors next year is going to be it's going to be a hard summer, but we'll figure something out.
Another strong senior you got, a guy who I have said repeatedly, I think he's one of the most improved players, but somebody was telling me the other day that maybe last year he was kind of injured or a little bit dealing with some injuries, and that's a guy that's fighting for you in the paint, has some great moves, great minutes, Riley Benson.
Yeah, he's the unsung hero. He's the unsung hero of the team. I mean, he does everything. And again, he's another guy, honestly, if he's on other teams, then he has to score. He's a guy that can score. I mean, he could average 12, 14 points a game, but he does so much of the other stuff. He allows the other guys and shares the ball with those guys. He allows them to score. He scores when we need him to. But he just, defensively and rebounding and just being that presence, man, he does it all for us. So, and that last year he had injured knee. He ended up having surgery in the off season, so he was playing through that. I mean, he's his hand right now, something's going on with that, but he just plays through it, man. He doesn't complain. He shows up every day and just gives it everything.
He really has. He's really turned it on this year, his senior year. And one other guy who's not a senior, but I talked about 4 Panthers, so I'm going to talk about 4 Bulldogs. Okay. Keep it all equal. But your guy there kind of at the point who's been running that a little bit, and he had a good game tonight. Yes, and when he gets on a streak, Will Judy just adds another element to your team.
Yes, sir. Yeah, he's been playing really good. And when he's plays with that confidence and that kind of carefreeness, he's been that spark plug that we've been looking for and he's been that guy. And if he continues to be that guy, we're just going to keep getting better and better.
Well, I'm going to tell you, I will argue with anyone all day long that the Bull Run District is a tough basketball district. Now, the top 4 teams in this district, I swear I think any of them could win the district tournament, go on and win regional tournaments and so on. If Rappahannock gets hot, they've got enough talent to do something. But, you know, when you look at the top 4 with Central, Strasburg, Luray, and Page, those 4 are neck and neck. I mean, it's 9-2, 9-2. You guys are now 9-3. Page is 8-4. And when you look at it, when I was interviewing Coach Tyler, Page split with Central, they split with Rapp, they split with Strasburg. They're hoping they split with you.
No.
But you guys, I believe, you swept Rapp, you split with Central. Strasburg was the only team that got you twice. And you're, of course, hoping to get Page twice on Friday night. So this is a tough district.
Oh, hands down, it's without question the best district. In Class 2, obviously the Class 1 teams are really good that are in at us and Rapp. But as far as any district goes, I mean, I put that up there with any of them. You know, I mean, Nelson County is like 10-0 in their district or something. And of course, you know, we were their last loss. You know, and they're one of the best teams in Class 2. I feel like our postseason runs the last couple of years have been because we've been so battle tested in the Bull Run that if you get out of the Bull Run, you can win games anywhere. And I mean, and you know, the coaches in our league, I mean, you know, with Central and Coach Whittle and Strasburg and Coach Fox, of course, Coach Parker over at Page that coached with me. I mean, our coaches, Ray Atkins at Rapp, I mean, all the guys, all the coaches in the league, I mean, they're all just exceptional, really good coaches, and that helps set our league apart too.
No doubt about it. I need to make a little little call down to Southside, check with my old buddy Richard LeSueur. I think you met him in the postseason last year. I need to check on Cumberland. I need to see what the deal is with Cumberland. That's a Class 1 team you guys may meet later on. But I'm going to wrap it up now with you, Coach. You've been very generous with your time this evening after the ball game. Again, a good win tonight for Luray, 64-52 over Madison tonight. But we're looking at Thursday night. We are looking at 5:30 p.m. tip-off. It is the second game in the rivalry. Get here early to get a seat because it is going to be a packed house. I want to ask you, Coach, your thoughts on the Panthers. I eased into this with Coach Tyler because I told him, I said, I know last time it kind of a little one-sided. Luray really got you, but I said it could very easily flip-flop the other way.
Oh, absolutely. And that was, you know, I was worried about that there. You know, those guys get off to a hot start usually always, and we've never really played very good over there. We happen to play really well over there. You know, I'm hoping that we can get off to a hot start here and maintain that, but I expect it to be, you know, back and forth, neck and neck all night long and be a classic, you know, Luray-Page rivalry game.
Can't wait for it. It's 5:30 this Thursday, February 12th, right here at Luray High School Gymnasium. It's the big game. It's the Bulldogs and the Panthers. Get here early, get your seat. Coach, thanks so much for your time and good luck on Thursday.
Thank you.
Folks, remember, if you like this episode, hit that like button and subscribe to our YouTube channel at Page Valley News. We want to thank Eleanor Arrington for all of her work behind the camera and in the editing room this week. And as always, we want to remind you to go out to the Page County Animal Shelter and help one of our furry friends find a forever home. For Coach Matt Huff, I'm Randy Arrington from Luray High School saying, get here on Thursday night and watch some great Bull Run District basketball and enjoy that Page Valley living.